So, accept. And is in. Yes. Adia, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. I don't have that one. If you want. Do you need Wi-Fi? Alright, you see the screen, Hadia?
Yes, sir.
Alright, let me change your audio. Alright, so as I mentioned, what we're basically doing, we're doing some revision of spreadsheets. We're covering back everything that we did so far. We're just going through the exercises to see if we understand everything that we did so far. So, we're going to start with, you guys are doing the exercise. Shania, start with you. So you guys can follow the exercise if you have the chapter.
That's right. Wait, I think the
Yeah, I sent that to guys.
It comes up. Yeah,
167.
Or come on, Wi-Fi.
yeah, it comes up. You got me.
So you got the chapter 7 country.
Mm-hmm.
7.3, you can see exercise 1 at the bottom. Shania, you can start. You got type
I
of
got
following
type.
data. Yeah, start typing. I was hoping you're a fast typer. You hungry? That's why you had 10 minutes before you came on. And then you came 10 minutes late.
I know it's clear here. I know it's probably says
7.3.
7.3.
Oh my. Well, you're in spreadsheet, right? 7.3.
Oh, this is spreadsheet. 7.6. Wow. So you just found us phone. Right, so you use the device?
You can either look at the textbook or you look at chapter 7.3.
Yeah, 7.3 found lost.
Done.
Yeah, you delete it.
Check back your WhatsApp group for the textbook. Where is the second? Didn't I say?
This is what I have.
Yeah. Yeah, you done?
Sir. And this one? On the exercise. Sir.
Oh, she wrote the ticket.
This one I want because I see those. I was like, sorry.
The screen extension.
Okay, smarty.
Yeah, her.
This was touching you.
I can send a screenshot to
This
you.
one, sir, this one.
I shall send a
Sir,
screenshot.
this one.
You sent it us.
Yeah, it does.
I
Yeah,
thought
it
you
does.
won't put us
Does he
Yes,
have
still
it?
send a screenshot or send or keep some or something.
Oh, yeah, I always scroll through this. Oh, you know what? Android. Hold on. Android quality version. Yeah. Send the group.
Yeah, try to go.
Sir, let's read something. Sir, let's read that. Sir, what's the matter?
No, I got it. So everybody should be looking at exercise 1.
7.3.
Yes, exercise 1.
Yeah, go for it up.
So she's supposed to type in the following data in sheet 1. That's what she's currently doing. Good. On the screen now. So point number 2, she needs to merge the headings containing the title donations collected across columns A and B. So how do you merge that heading? You highlight the headings on the screen.
We have to like tell her.
Why that's what the one part I'll be coming up on the true stuff. No, for stuff.
No, the instruction says A and B. But you guys know how to margin center, right?
Yes.
You highlight the cells and you click on margin center.
Where's that Google this?
If you now if you notice, if you click back on the heading that you just margin center, you notice next to the margin center there's a drop down. I notice we have some additional information there. We have unmerge, so if you want to take off the merge, you can take it off. Click back on the arrow again. No, take off the unmerge. Yeah. Now click on the arrow. Notice you have merge cells. That one just merges the cells, but it's actually not supposed to center it. I think. Unmerge. Click somewhere. I think it's because it's centered somewhere. Click on the cell. Yeah, it's centered. Left align it. Good. And now highlight the 2. And if you click on the arrow and you click merge cells, it's actually not going to center it. It's just going to combine the 2 cells together. Now we click on sheet 1 to rename the sheet and rename it as main. What's the other way to rename the sheet? You can double click on it and you right click on it and you have the rename option there. You have 2 locations of renaming the sheet. Double click on it and you have that right click option. Point number 4, highlight the headings in row 3 and make them bold. What's the shortcut for bold? Control B. And save the spreadsheet as donations. And she's done. Give her a round of applause.
That's how this one.
We went hard to.
I forgot the text.
Save it somewhere else. Go downloads. Good. Thank you. So next up we have Atavia. Yeah.
Don't say Quenchie. You done this one.
I didn't hear. Yeah, because I didn't swear about this whole thing.
Let me learn back.
Wow, yes.
We're so wicked, bro. Turn for things okay, there. Okay.
Sir, like, how you allow she could just go in front?
Just start the screen. Go here.
Oh shucks.
You can touch the entire screen.
Anyway, so
So
it
we have
says
exercise 2. Use the main sheet to contain the exercise. In cell A10, type that phrase.
shucks.
Ali, are you following?
Yes, sir.
If you have any questions at any time, let us know.
No, sir, no questions right now.
Yeah, I was just doing something. Yeah, type in that phrase and then widen column A to fit the title in A10. Good, you already widened it. So how do you widen the cell? Or how do you widen the column? Go ahead, you click on that and you drag.
It's exercise 2, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, that total quality of knowledge. Oh shucks.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do it. Yeah.
I have seen problems leave me alone to do stuff.
Use that and talk. Wow.
What the difference, Akila? I wanted this way to do this way. Yes, sir.
Yes. We type in the phrase. So we put our cursor between the lines of the column, between the lines of the row in order to resize it, right? So if you put your cursor between A and B, and you click on it, and you drag it in any direction, it resizes, right? So what is autofit? Good. When you double click on it, so widen A, and when you double click on it, it automatically fits to what though?
To the longest word, the last word and the longest the word, the long, the cell with the long, yeah, with the most multiple words, like the longest.
She can lie because it won't go to item.
Not a word for word.
Yeah, yeah.
Not a word for text.
Data.
Data. So remember data gonna cover number, text, and so on. So remember for data, there are 2 types of data. There are
Can't remember that.
Oh, you
Value is one, and
text?
no, it's not text.
it is text, but there's
Wait,
another
not
name
name
for it.
for it. Value and this it starts with L, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Labels.
Yes, that word.
So values and labels, those are the 2 types of data. So if you want to say in general, if you want to talk about values and labels, you say data. So it resizes to the largest data. Because if you notice, we have water, we have tin food, it doesn't enclose to those cells. It encloses to the largest total quantity of donations. Alright, so in B10, type equals sum, B4 to B8.
Oh, shucks. This seems so weird.
4 to
Oh my.
good. I have our calculation there. So that is the sum function. What does the sum function do?
Out of all.
Everything in the range. Adds up everything in the range or everything in the bracket. Because it's not only a range that can be used. Double click on it. Or you have it at the top there. But it's not only a range can be used. Because you can put a comma after B8 and type in D4. And notice 8,000 is going to be highlighted, and when she clicks enter, we have calculation there. and open it back once again. If you put another comma and you put 5,000 and enter, we have calculation here also. So any function, it uses three things in order to do the calculation. It uses the values, it uses the cell names, which can be ranges or the individual cell name, or it could be the individual cell name or a range. It's used for the calculation. Alright, moving on. Insert a row at 6.
6?
Yes. So this is something important to note. Now notice here, right click on 5 and she inserted it. So when you're inserting a row, when you're inserting a column, think of it wherever you want it to go. Think of the column name or the row number that you want to insert. So if you want to insert at 6, you have to right click on 6. If you want to insert it at D, column D, you got to right click on column D in order to insert. And we notice there that when we insert a row, how does the data move? Downwards. So if you insert a column, how does the data move? Towards the right. So right click on column C and insert, and notice column C was shifted over to the right. So if you insert a column, it gets shifted to the right. If you insert a row, everything gets shifted downward from that point. From the point that you inserted. Good. So we inserted row 6, you need to enter the new data. 5,000 tins of baby formula.
Oh.
Date is 06/09/2019 and it's year. Well, ship was 3,000 and year. Good. So that's how you insert a row. That's how you insert a column in order to put in data. So you don't need to basically create a new table. Now in A12, type total quantity of items shipped. Good. In B12, type equals sum. Here are you go. Equals sum D4 to D9. And press enter. So that's going to calculate that range. We have our total here. Good. So in cell A13, type smallest quantity. What is the function for the smallest quantity? Min. Good. So equal min B4 to B8. Good.
Not B9?
We can adjust it to include our new row that we just created. So open it
Will
back.
that B9?
They have B8. Yeah, it's B9. That's how they have B8. Good. So min is the function gives us our smallest value from a range. In A14 type largest quantity, what's the name of the function?
Max.
Max give us the largest function. So it's important for you to remember these function names. Min, max, sum, and so on. Equal max in the same range. B4 to B9.
Awesome.
We have a calculation there. In A415, types of items donated. And we're going to have equal count A. So we just not talk about this earlier, A4 to A9. What is the difference between count A and count?
Count is horizontal. Count A counts
So what can help you to remember, double click on, look at the formula, look at the function, notice it has an A inside of it. So the A is helping you to remember it counts letters basically, or labels. It helps you to count labels. So once you see it without the A, it's only going to count values. Alright? In A16, type number of items shipped by air. So we have three counts. The count, which only counts numbers, count A, which counts letters, and basically every form of data. It's not just letters, any form of data. It also counts numbers. But one thing to note about this count function, what actually is it counting? Because if you say whatever is inside of it, is it actually counting whatever is inside of it?
What else?
Look at the example that you have there. You have count A and open it so that you can see the range highlighted. What is it actually doing?
It's counting the data itself, but like now.
So it's counting the number of cells with data.
Mm-hmm. So it's counting.
The number of cells with labels. Is it labels?
Well, ignore the specific data, but it's counting if data is in the cell, not what kind. Well, depending on the count, it's what kind of data, but it's more if data is in the cell. Because if you delete dry goods and it gets blank, it's not going to count anything because there's no data inside of the cell. So it only counts if there's data in the cell. If there is a number or if it's a letter, depending on the function. But you're back to the count if now. So the count if does the same thing. It looks at the range and it counts if the range has data inside of it. But it has that if part, it has that criteria part. So basically, what is the criteria? Something they're looking for, something specific, or you could say like a question. They're gonna ask a question. So we put in a range, and we're gonna looking for if there's any air in this range, if there's any word matching air in this range. That's basically the criteria there. So I simply put an air into quotation marks. It's basically saying search for this word air. And if there's any air that's found, count it, and you're going to get your value there. So if you put in C, if you replace air with C, it's going to count that, and that should give you 3 C's there. So if you delete the air at the top, and you put in the C, put in a C, you notice it changes to 4 now. Good. Because it's counting how much is inside here. So the quotation marks is if you're looking for a specific word, if you're looking for a specific phrase, if you're looking for something specific. But if you're looking for a number, what would be some criteria that you're going to put?
That's on science, something like that.
Good. So what's some examples?
Like if you want a number, like this, you want number more than 3,500 counted, and count all the numbers above 3,500.
Good. So if you want numbers, you use those questions basically. Is it more than? Is it less than? Is it more than equal to? Is it less than equal to? Is it not equal to? Those are our questions when it comes to numbers. So if she changed the range and she used the ship the range.
Oh.
So change the E to D. And well, notice there is no C, so she got 0. And if you change C, so that greater than
Where's the sign?
the bottom,
Oh.
anyone can work.
Okay. Say the leader.
Sorry, so you don't know which is which. You don't know which one is which.
I'm telling her anyone can work.
Yeah, but do you know which one is which one?
Why would I not know?
So what's the one?
Does she know?
No,
Sorry,
no,
yeah.
no. What's the one? I want you to tell me what's the sign.
Like,
Because you don't know.
No, I want
that's clearly the moron side because the more is open to this side.
That's the less one sign.
It's lasagna is the one because this went open this way, just spell less. It's like this one like an L.
Is it right here?
Which L you see in there, G?
No,
Turn,
it's not like an L.
turn it this way.
Like a-
Oh, but wait. Hold on, I learned something.
I don't know if you see it.
Yeah.
No, but like L is this way. Like when you're writing L. is
That's
this way.
remember it this way. If something is pointing to the left, it is less.
Not see that. I would never.
If there's something weird about
What?
it,
Do not see
If something is pointing to your
I
left,
don't know how that's worded.
Exactly.
Spell less. Spell less. And even just when the opposite is more.
So the left is less. Our right is
right is more.
So one more. That's more. Cause the right.
Your
Alright.
left is less.
Where is it pointing?
To the right.
No.
No. He's looking at where it starts, like where the V starts.
I don't like any modes.
Where? How do you draw arrow?
It's right. You don't draw arrow like.
Sorry, keeping it. This because we got everything.
No, oh shit. No, wait. Oh, wait, hold on.
Once it pointing to the right, it's more than.
So,
Good. So it's pointing to the right, it's more than.
oh, after the peak start though. Oh, I don't know.
I am sorry, yes, but you know.
Delete it again.
Yeah, wait.
Is this supposed to come in front of me?
No.
It's supposed to come in front.
I don't see some grade tree in my stomach.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's greater than 3,000 here. So that's one thing. So when you're looking for numbers, you don't need to use the quotation marks. You can actually take them out. It's only if you're looking for something specific.
Excuse me.
So apparently you don't need the quotation marks.
Sorry, tell me wrong. Take notes. Man.
Not doing it. I put it.
Wait, oh, man, I gotta do it.
Apparently it does need quotation mark. This one does. So that is the count if function. It counts looking for a criteria. It must match the criteria.
This lesson.
More than. Where's it pointing?
To the right.
Good. So right is.
Yeah, but to me, but no, look at look at here. Oh no, cause look at here, wondering why it's only 2 and there's no one that she got 500. Yeah, just confused. Yeah. Anyway, guys, back to our
Anyway, round of
schedule.
applause here.
Me done, sir.
No, we didn't have.
Sir, it's like no, sir. Oh.
Do you want to have?
Yes, sir.
Alright, type in A70,
Sure.
average quantity shipped.
Sir, why should that be smart?
No need to put it back. I do double.
Sir, I need to song. There you go.
No ear.
Small, sir.
First wrong, no ear. No, she has the wrong range as well. She has the wrong range. Why we change the range? Look at the range. Remember it looks at the range?
Oh yeah. So you off this whole thing. I'm gonna flow. There you go. Anyways.
So, average quantity shipped was the function for average. APG.
Is that wrong?
No, you got spelled out.
Average.
You got spelled out. You got spelled out.
You have to spell it out. So don't let that confuse you because that confuses person. They think that min and max is the short version, so they think AVG is average. So average is the only one that you spell out.
Yup.
It's on the screen.
She bugging, man. Before.
Nine.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So that's our average function here.
Oh, yeah.
Use the name box to name F1 as quantity. Where's the name box? That could be a question in your exam. Where is the name box?
It's located at the top left hand corner and it's out.
Just on your
What is it next to?
Next the function.
the function TV.
Yeah, the function thing, sir.
Function.
Box.
Another word.
Circle. Here.
Another word. Box.
Tab.
No.
Where one?
No. We're going to do that. No.
Function. The your name box, right? Which one is
Function
function box?
rectangle.
How many parts over it? No, not that.
Function rectangle.
Hold on, Inside function.
That's a complete function to delete from, but that can be the other box.
This one.
Yeah.
Formula bar.
From the bar.
But
That's your
but
formula
sir,
bar.
sir,
Function box is the same thing.
it's not necessary because this is the function box and this is the formula bar. We tell them now how this look until here.
Exactly. You say yeah. You tell.
Moving on.
Exactly.
So we're renaming F1 as QTY. So we go to our name box. We select for cell for us. We go to our name box. We give it QTY. If you want to name a range, what do we do?
You highlight the range and go to the name box and
Very good, very good. Good. So in F4, type equal if.
equal.
So we're looking at the if function now.
Mhm.
B4 is less than.
Wait.
What was it even there? QTY. Comma. QTY. Comma. QTY minus B4. Don't complete it.
Here.
Good. So, in those brackets, what do we call those elements in the brackets?
Criteria.
No.
No.
In any function in general. What do we call them?
A function?
The entire thing is a function. Yes.
Value.
It starts with E. Before y'all do it a lot. 5 y'all do it a lot.
Well, art. Because I
don't know art. Wait, sir.
The 5 of you just do it a lot.
The 5 of us argue.
An argument.
Argument.
I usually just said argue.
But it meant.
But the 5 of us don't argue though.
I was
And it's 4.
including our invisible indicator.
Oh yeah.
So, in the brackets is what we call, the parts of the brackets is what we call arguments. And the entire function of how it is made up has a name. Start with S.
Pardon? Repeat the question.
The entire
Statistics.
function of how it is created has a name.
It's argument.
Yes.
Statistics.
It's up.
No?
No, of course not.
Next to my social studies.
I'll get in there. That's hold on.
Give us another clue. Sister what? Come on. You're not.
You lucky. You say nothing. Hey, it's a sticker of me. You want to do?
SN.
S N.
That's M.
M or N?
N.
N.
There's an S.
No, SY.
Syntax.
Yes.
Yeah, that word.
What word?
Syntax. That's why it's here.
I don't remember though. I'll look it up.
Are you already following?
Yes, sir.
Alright. So, there's 4 things you need to remember about any function. 4 things you need to remember. 1, you need to remember the name of a function. So whether it's the if function, whether it's the sum function, whether it's the average function, you need to remember the name. And the second thing you need to remember is what is it used for. Sum function is used to add numbers together. The average function is used to calculate the average. Max function is used to give you the highest value. So those are the two things you need to remember. The third is the syntax, how it is developed. So for example, the if function, that is the syntax you see at the bottom there. Equal if, the first part, the test. You must have a test. The test is to see if something is greater than, if something is less than, if something is equal to. After the test, you put a comma. Remember that test is called an argument. So the fourth thing you need to remember, what are the individual arguments? So this syntax has how many arguments?
2.
3.
Sure, but okay.
Commas can tell you how many arguments there are.
There's only 2 commas there.
Good, so if you have 2 commas,
3.
it's 3. You have 2 commas there.
Yeah, it says 3.
Say 2 commas divide something is 3, you can get one on this side, one in the middle, one on the side. Just,
There's something? No, sir. No.
you
Hold
guys,
on, dog.
comma.
Fact.
Good, add another commas, 2 commas. That's 2 syntax.
What if we do this now?
I sent you something from this.
No, sir, what will be
Once
done?
you have a comma,
Sir, me down. Watch to do this though.
it's still,
She just tried to.
Yeah, but there's 2 commas there and it's 3 things.
but the last one is 1. Cat and mouse is 1. We're not doing English, so.
And it's so sickening to me. Look at the real disrespect.
So going back to the function.
Oops. Yeah.
So we have 3 arguments here. And the first part is a test. If you notice, that is highlighted there. It's bolded
Oh, shucks.
because we're in that section. Notice she just clicked on the end. So false is now highlighted. What are you doing? You're looking at the wrong one.
No.
You're looking at the wrong one.
So I'm not
She's not right.
the right one. Watch now.
Okay. Well, that means we developed it wrong. So it's supposed you have to delete the QTY in the middle. And comma. So open it
And
up.
then,
Good. So the test is if B4, which is the 12,000 that you see on the left hand side, is it less than QTY? That range there, that 4,000. Is it less? Then if it is less, then the second argument is if the test is true, carry out that true part. So click on the QTY minus B4. Notice it's past the comma, so value of true is highlighted, so that's in that section there, that argument. And if she clicks on the where the quotation marks are, that's what's going to appear if the value is false.
Auntie so.
So you gotta remember, it's like if you go to the shop and somebody's saying to the shop, somebody's saying to Auntie Dawn to buy an egg ball, and
You can still find it, man.
when you want to buy the egg ball, if Auntie Dawn has an egg ball, you're gonna buy the egg ball. There is no way you're not gonna buy the egg ball. If you don't buy the egg ball, you cannot buy the egg ball anymore. There's no way you cannot buy the egg ball. You already bought
If
it.
you get money.
So with that now, only the true or only the false can be carried out. If the true is carried out, the false is going to be ignored. If the false is carried out, the true is going to be ignored. You can,
and it just wants to.
Okay, smarty. You know how to feel. Well, sorry, now you talk. I can't say doing now. And then article to say.
so
There you go.
you guys remember about the autofill?
Yeah.
That's why I called them, sir. Talk
So
to
why not to show?
I do this whole thing, man.
Nothing there itself.
We so gone.
Check it now. Undo again. Undo again. Look at the first one. It's function magically displayed.
Sorry, this is going to space, you know. 3, 4 is not.
If P4 is less than quantity, less than.
Oh,
Good. Here she Octavia, she knows her less than.
yes, I learned. 50y,
Minus P4.
comma,
P4,
close.
P4.
Sir, is this shifted dot sign the previous now? The comma, pause,
Quotation marks.
quotation. So you finish with this? Quotation.
Yeah, hold them at the same time.
Oh,
Close the brackets. Good. And then remember that little square there at the end? That's your autofill.
the formation of a square. Ah,
What's at the end there? Move your cursor. What's at the end there? Wait. That's the autofill.
volume. Sir, what's a joke? You know, sir, I can be type no type the Roman. You know this, sir? Right, you know this?
Yes.
I think I do this place. Yeah.
Good. So if you go back to the if function now, any one of them. Good. So one thing to note is that whatever you put to the true is going to appear. Whatever you put to the false is going to appear. Say the quotation mark, if you put the word false inside the quotation mark, that word is going to appear. You gotta remember the calculations carried out. So if you gotta copy upward, and notice false is going to appear here. Whatever is in the false and true, that is what is going to be carried out. Any questions? Hudson, you okay? Ali, are you okay?
Yes, sir. No questions.
Of course, that you would read class.
19. Use the autofill. Well, she already used autofill, so you guys should remember how to use the autofill. That small square at the end of the cell. Insert a row at row 8. Don't you remember how to insert? And enter the new data.
What do you mean, saying? I thought I'd knock you, name. She can't fall for me, thing.
No.
You don't trust me?
No.
Okay. It's like I hate females.
Are you supposed to like them?
It depends. Sir, depends on your mood, sir. So you love females?
He just asked if you're supposed to like them. You love him. She's like,
Are you love females? No. Okay.
Alright, so if you notice, in 21 you have to use the autofill to copy the function from F7 to F8.
This and what?
F7 to F8. Have you inserted the new row?
Find F7.
Can't find F7.
Sir.
Yes, you can copy from the top, no problem.
But where is it?
It's right here.
There you go.
Okay. So I'm glad you guys know the difference between highlighting and the autofill. So highlighting, you put the cursor in the center. Put the cursor in the center. Put the cursor in the center of the cell. Clicking it. No, don't think so. Good. So that cursor there, that's for you to highlight. That's for you to select. So if she clicks now with that cursor and she drags,
Oh. Yeah, we want particular. So, you drag it. Well,
you guys get it.
yes. I don't want to know. This one, sorry, let's see if fancy one just is this one. This one.
I don't know what she like.
You see? Oh. Anyways.
What were you trying to do?
It's our next one. Let's see how good this one here. Get next one. Hold on. See?
Yeah, it's remember what's the purpose of autofill?
to jot down the functions or any data from one cell to another.
which is basically copying. So if you brought down that one from more needed, you're actually going to be copying more needed.
Oh, got you.
So autofill is used for copying one cell to another. So if you actually type one in the column to the right, type one, enter, autofill that.
Now, no, remove it, shucks. Without this one. There you go.
Yeah, so one is going to be copied. But you need to use the fill series option, the box at the bottom, fill series,
Sammy copy don't get up.
and then it's going to implement.
Sammy copy don't have that.
I think copies in there.
You don't have these bottom things, sir. It's got the one thing. I feel you want the girls want. I am believing this club got papers for me.
A total of 3250 sets of medical supplies have now been updated. Good. Update the spreadsheet. Good. But so now we're looking at PMT, we're looking at loan. So we finished with all those functions. Hopefully we understand your function. Good.
Yes, sir. A loan of 10 sometimes to JK.
You understand?
Of course, sir. At the top, though, you know these things by heart.
Open my play function.
Okay, I'm coming.
Where are you going?
Yeah, function was here. Now, look. Yeah.
It's tree syntax. It has a test. The test can be anything. You can test for anything. If a number is less than, if a number is greater than, if a number is equal to, it runs that test.
Yes.
That's the first part of your syntax. That's the first argument.
So it only goes to delete the test.
If it is equal to, if it's less than equal to, if it's not equal to,
If
anything.
I am, what, you can get along because I'm
Was it not equal to sign?
cancel out.
Equal sign is not same.
Yeah.
Oh, we got, but we don't have that here. So it's actually going to be less than and more than.
Yes, sir, hold on, right? If you want something, if you want, if,
And spreadsheet is less than and more
sir, stop
than.
interrupting me. If you want something, if you want beef, 10 minus B 4, right?
Mhm.
Good. Equal to 15 less than. See, answer to that must be less than 10. Can you do that?
Processing returns.
If you want minus B, let's say B7 by B, probably bit, hold on, sorry, I got bit to go. If you want minus B4 by F1, right? Good. Good. And you want if it equal, if it's less than 10, put it as true, and if it's not, put false.
No, you can't run it that way. You have to do a test. The test is not, you can't do a calculation to do a test. You're doing a calculation first and then doing a test. You have to have the value there first.
Oh.
So you have to have the values there existing already, and then you can do the test. So the values there are already existing.
Mm-hmm.
They've received values existing, and you receive amount to the top here is existing. So you compare those two values together, and that is a test.
Oh.
If it's equal to, if it's less than, not equal to, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
And go back into it.
Oh.
So that's a test basically. Anything of that form, that's a test. So whatever you put in the true part, that is what will appear. If you put the word raspberry in quotation marks inside of that true section, delete QTY minus B10,
So I can't spell the word strawberry.
just put whatever the word is spelled. And put the quotation marks.
What's that, buddy? I love ease of this.
Strawberry will appear. Whatever is in the true will appear, whatever is in the false will appear. So that's why we can use it to do calculations. So that if you want something to be calculated, if it is true, we can carry that out. and whatever else you want. So a case, I just use this to calculate your pass and
Grades.
fail. Yeah,
Yeah.
pass
I
and fail.
realize.
I just
So I don't want to make pass or fail. Go to 11, 12.
so grades. So my if function is here. So notice I already have my values. I have all the grades.
What time you fail, we pass?
I have your total here.
Because I didn't submit.
These are your totals. Is that what it feels? And this is your this is my pass mark here
I think
basically.
highest
So
score.
what I did now, I ran a test. Is your total greater than pass mark? I named 25 pass marks. So that's my test here. Is your total that you have here is 24? Is it greater? She missed it by 1 mark. 2 marks. So is J4 greater than pass mark? Then if it is true, pass will appear. And if it is false, fail will appear.
Yeah.
So instead of manually typing.
You do that too?
It's not lazy work, that's what it's developed for.
Aquila,
Aquila.
Fantasia, nice girl, you got this. Who failed?
Well, technology.
Saw it. You saw it? Outdoor.
Technology is here to make
Ah,
things
you bro that.
Because I did submit the note. Actually, I did submit the note. And he never opened it.
Aquila?
That kind of used me.
Aquila, you got-
After he put in the grade.
Yeah, 6. Me, you tight. Don't be too nice.
After he put in the grade.
Sure, I'm lost. Step on the shame, this right? Sorry, I'm sorry.
Close it.
Yes, I closed it.
What are you opening now?
So,
Please close the files.
okay, what's what?
Please close the files in X.
What if cost a little bit?
You got a 6 form.
Oh,
This on digital media.
this is the smart one. I'm sure.
Nobody passed to so sad.
Check each term.
Easter term.
No, the grades. Grades. ET grades.
grades PM.
Oh.
Focus.
Why the person is 0?
Yeah, I'm not person dropped out.
Oh,
Oh.
shucks.
Yes, now please close the files so
Yeah.
we can move on.
Yes, sir, got you.
The other one too?
Yeah.
Don't close that one.
No, I never.
Right, so we're looking at the loan. So you guys get the idea with the if statement. If yes, put in information. A loan of 30,000 was used to manage the donations collected and pay staff. The interest rate is 7.25. Yes, I'm good.
Sir, what is you want? Oh.
The other
Sir,
comment
before we
is
finish it, right?
15.
Sir, I have to get bus to go, and the last one is in the park.
Yo, walk.
Sir, the
Walk
last
home.
bus is to park at 4:30, and it takes me like about 10 minutes to walk from here. That's why I'm slow. That's why I'm slow. Hey, just walk. You don't get box of us. Sarah.
That's weird.
It's past me. It's not that far.
Is that-
Yes, it is.
Is that guy possible then?
Huh?
That guy what?
It's past me.
Oh, you mean grade the bus? They couldn't grade the bus by. You start putting your file in some. This girl don't have to. This girl don't have to know. She just touch a fat. She just touch a fat. She just touch a. I tell her shut up. You know? You want to about it? I'm gonna empty time. Empty time on you. She like talk to the problem. I can't say I'm going to tell you. Yeah, does it? No money, no nothing. Yo, that's what with you all day. Sorry. I kill it too.
Alright, so we're looking at PMT, how to calculate our loan. So if your uncle took a loan, your aunt took a loan, and you want to know how much they have to pay back, something like that. But
I
it's not
remember
function.
one is my knowledge is the same body.
But instead of doing it in years, it's using months, right? Am I right?
Based on the data that you have here. Don't be, oh yeah, that's what they have there. That's it. Then-
Prince. I was right.
I don't know.
I think so,
never-
yeah.
I never checked what it stands for, so I have to Google it.
Rate?
Those are the arguments.
Yeah, but it's common sense.
No, the month is the of case
Number.
5
Of payments and all.
Yeah, but what?
What it stands for?
PMT.
I don't think it has.
Principal, month and time. Or payment, month and time.
Could be.
Payment one time.
Payments,
Payment one time.
No, it can't be month and time. Month and time is the same thing.
Interest, you see either?
She's taking what payments.
What you asking them, man?
8.
What you asking them, man?
8.
I told you.
You
8.
said principal, but payment.
What?
Key 8.
Oh. You can't say 8. I just run out something to do. You know?
Alright, so PMT has 3 arguments, just like the if function. Put your click inside the brackets. Then you notice at the bottom there, rate is the that's key. So key K4. The rate is your interest rate. How much percentage you have to pay back. So it actually depends on the information that they give you. If they give you the information in years, then that is why you need to do the conversion. Because maybe you want it in months. But if you want the information in years, you don't need to do the conversion. So the first argument is the rate, what percentage you have to pay back. Second argument is NPR, or the number of payments, which is going to be a year.
No, payments per year.
Yeah, how much years you got to pay back. And notice you multiply year by 12 to give us our month. So it's some simple mathematical calculation.
So you're actually finding months?
So I don't know what you do with PMT. Proceed.
You don't know this video.
I know payments
So
one
that's-
time.
We can convert yearly payment to monthly.
I feel like you just
Because it's
Because
someone
12
in here.
months. So the interest
What do
rate,
you want? You're talking about.
the interest rate is for how long?
Would be for 5 years.
The interest rate is for 1 year. 1 year. It's not 5 years here for the repayment period. But the interest rate is only for a 1 year period. So you have to divide that 1 year now by 12
And then
to
time.
get months. I remember it's a 1 year. And then you're gonna multiply
What's that unpacking?
the years by 12 so that you can get your months. And the amount you're gonna keep it the same so that well, you don't need to do that because we have to prepay anyway. So enter, and that's where you have to prepay monthly. So you can actually recreate it. Recreate it at the bottom. But don't put in the conversions.
What do conversions?
You divide and you multiply.
So that's
K4, yeah, no K4. Remember interest rate first, and then the year. K5. You're creating the same thing.
are you just said don't recreate it?
K5 here. No, you're not converting to year months.
Oh.
And now the amount. K3. That there is going to give us our yearly repayment. That's what we want to get because the information is in years. We didn't convert it, so now we have yearly repayment. When we converted it to months, we got monthly repayment here. Now, we'll come on to that. Escape. If, for instance, don't go back a bit. If, for instance, the information they give you now is in months, for example, change the interest rate to 1%. That might be a monthly interest rate, 1%. And change the month to 48 months or 50 months. Right. So that's your monthly information here. So the one without the conversion, 765, That's gonna be monthly, and you didn't need to do any conversion.
So then we have 50 years there.
Hmm?
It's 50 years there.
Yeah.
And this one divided.
Ignore the years. That's months.
No, sorry, this one's still divided by 12. Don't be trying to get the months out to
No,
50 years.
you can divide months into something else.
Weeks.
Weeks, because it'll be won't be logical. So maybe something.
So, anyway, guys, very good class today. Y'all very helpful.
It's fortunate.
I'm telling you something.
I'm serious. I did the class was to spend probably the part of filter.
Well, you can watch the rest.
Leader?
If you keep on the shark every time, it's less time we have.
Yeah, but so them touching in there, not
What
it.
time you see finish it?
4:40.
Yeah.
Any mind?
We can finish next 10 minutes.
Yeah, we don't mind that.
Right?
We don't mind extended.
For Daddy's coming for the turtle.
Alright, so round of applause to Kia. Let's move on to the next person quickly.
Don't put me.
Octavia,
No, don't put me.
I am amazing.
you're learning before you go.
Because I meant I had a meeting and right?
Yeah, I'm cool, right? It's so funny.
It's just a magic.
I don't want to learn.
It's not a magic word. Time child. Time.
You want to focus on your BP?
Guys, 3. Just pass it.
Mother.
That is like that table.
Yep.
No. Same spreadsheet. Open that sheet.
Alright.
If I walk from now, I will do this course. Of course. Your box of buses are spent buses and then so if I leave now
Buses,
with
a little more-
this file,
A little more class, a kilo.
and Sir
And that's baby.
this is the good bus. You need to understand that the buses only work in
Okay, phone.
Because
You thought taxi?
now it's 4 minutes. So you come for and it's the same thing that happened and the same thing is gonna happen. It's the same thing is gonna happen every Monday and Thursday.
No, one day from.
Thursday if everything she go back and do all the classes.
She won't come, she won't stay at
Now,
school.
I'm still ministry I'm still
Think she don't coffee just now, you know.
still
Just coffee after she come out.
Oh well, it's like what?
Nadia, are you okay?
I'm done here.
Yes, sir.
She said,
You say yes, sir.
What?
She's there.
She not on the link once. She was like, me, but girl. Well, this person believes her, you don't know them. Them is going shame.
We gonna see if I start putting her and I know boss, yeah, come yeah, if I hear the buses and park up, and you're back home picking you up. Because I come back to school, right? I'm not gonna study park up.
I'm sorry.
yes.
Yeah.
I'll wait for you to come up. Okay. Oh, alright.
Virtual?
Apparently,
Virtual.
sir will make decorations next Monday, so I can't stay home.
No, like, she go to some park.
Which one?
By the time you stay back in the corner.
Communication via the internet, no need virtual.
There's so much big word that's not by it's a virtual. People don't know one. It's not. It's all.
Well, and
Oh, but say no, so you need words.
and
Sorry, school.
virtual
Wednesday. We're on Goalie.
Mars, Tuesday.
Yeah, you don't go for though. This is how you study.
Virtual and what?
What?
Virtual and what?
We don't work for physical.
I didn't
Oh.
So we're back to hosting activities and teaching.
Yeah, I'm just gonna see something.
we had 2 years of
Yeah.
like 2 years.
3 years. Yeah, cause third farm they had nothing, and then fourth farm now. Elections come, then COVID, no teaching.
Closing time.
Oh, sorry then.
I thought the one is supposed to be on Friday.
They must do it on Saturday.
You only get Fridays, Saturday and Sunday.
They bet you Saturday.
No, it's fine. Saturday.
That's something that's block the little teacher escape, you know.
Sorry, when you go in, you still get last time I did.
Why don't you got your one?
I don't even know the holiday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
6.
I think that you want in class, but it is only a requirement.
Still don't go, okay. Hold on. This is very untidy, sir. Give me a second.
So you have to rename sheet 2 as expenses.
Hold on, sir. Oh, yeah, mine is in this one. Thank you. Going up to B. So
You have to
I'm
rename sheet 2 as expenses.
yes, sir. Oh, wait, yeah. Who watching anime? Oh. I thought it was this one. I'm not seeing.
Now say sorry.
I apologize.
E4 type equals CD
Equal.
C4 by that's a technician
Try to keep it 8 net.
by D4. Very much so. That should put in an 8 to multiply.
Sir. Yes, I'm going to fight on you.
Good. So that's a formula there. So remember the difference between a function and a formula. And the autofill. Good. And we have our calculations there. Use the name box to name F2 as this. Good. And in cell F4, enter a formula to calculate the discount to 50% for each service type equal E4. So we're using the cell E4 and we're multiplying it by this. Now why did we multiply it by this? Akila.
Oh.
Next step. You were saying, go back to the selfie. Multiply with this,
No. Who's the word? Here?
Why are we using this?
to
And
find the discount, 15% of the total cost will give you the discount.
but why didn't we use F2?
Oh, because remember now, when you drag it down now, itself will change. So if you use a certain, it's absolute relative thing. If you use a absolute, right? Absolute thing now, it will stay when you drag it down out to feel it.
So if you bring it down,
Yeah, I was doing shucks. Autofill, where is it? There you go.
good. And press Control and the key above tab together.
Alright, go ahead, see about.
Voila. So notice E4 changed to E5 and then E6 and then E7. That's the formula view. If you guys had done your exercise, you would have known about this.
What's your click?
What size?
That's part of the exercise.
Oh, the such a thing and this fancy thing here.
Control and the tilde.
The thing, yeah, thing above tab.
Yeah, well,
This key here.
oh.
Anyways.
Not to fill the formula.
What size the farm is still showing? Hey, on show it, sir. There you go. Where you going?
So notice the E4 changed to E5, E6, and E7. So what addressing is that? We finished with you.
Oh. Uh, absolute
Think about it.
relative time related to this one cell.
It's relative because wherever you copy to, it changes relative to that new cell. It
Yeah.
changes relative to the new location. So if you copy it to the right,
So an absolute is
We keep changing. Don't want we delete all the sides.
if you change copy to the right, just one cell to the right. Notice you're going to change the column. So if you copy your cell to the right or to the left, it changes the column.
But-
If you copy to the top or the bottom in the same column, it only changes the row.
Yeah.
And we use this because of what addressing?
relative.
You want to turn name and not solve this and tell you everything? You want to return name everything?
Why did we use this? What addressing is that?
This is not because this is relative.
Is this changing?
Hold on. Question? What the question one time? Hold on, what question?
What addressing is this?
This is
Absolute. Think of the word absolute. Absolute does not change, it's absolute.
yeah.
So
Oh,
it remains the same all the time.
Mom, you question, sir. Sorry, what's in time? There you go.
Open back it's open it back. What's the other form of absolute addressing?
The thing where you put something and then put the
Something and
between
something.
this one
Uh-huh.
you put the asterisk or something, sir. Anyway.
The dollar sign, the dollar sign, the dollar
Yes, sir,
sign.
the dollar sign and then the dollar sign.
That's
You see?
You could actually delete this
Yeah, and put F
and put F1. Yeah,
F1.
F this.
Good.
F
Good.
Which one?
F2.
Up to
Good. So
and watch.
a dollar sign in front of the letter, basically,
Shucks. I'm going to cry for you.
and a dollar sign in front of the row number.
Get too excited just now. And it won't change because, yeah, the dollar sign too.
Because of absolute addresses.
Yes.
That's why it won't change.
Mm-hmm.
that wraps up today's class.
Yeah, wait. We got plenty of exercise, man. Won't y'all? Y'all doing too speedy.
She autofilled.
It's probably here.
Yeah. Y'all wait, there's two more.
Format the cells with the numbers for 2 decimal places.
Sure.
Currency 2 decimal
But
place.
sir, hold on. You do this, right? I control, right?
Good, very good.
And then
Very good.
control this stuff? Yeah.
Yeah,
And then go into the currency thing. Currency.
good. So notice it has 2 decimal places automatically. Say if we want to
Or
reduce the
you could have
decimal
put
place, reduce it. So now we have no decimal place.
You have one decimal place. And then you have zero now.
Good.
What do we have to do? Nice. Progress.
Next.
If
Of this cell.
If you change 50 to 12,
Of this cell. Okay. Yes. Okay. So,
calculation automatically update.
a name range.
So name the range AC to
A1?
C7.
A1.
AC.
A4, sir. You see? See, basically, some, you know.
A4 to C7. A service.
Capital, yeah. Capital, okay. Service.
Good, and we continue from there.
Yeah. The end of the size.
Bye-bye, sir.
Thank you, sir, very much for this beautiful happiness. I can't get this.
How do you okay?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
No questions, sir.
Alright, so we ending here for today, right? See you.
Bye, sir.
Okay, sir. Bye.
Bye.